How did a college dropout working 16-hour days turn her side hustle into a $53,000 a month business? We're going to take a look at her story and her experiences and derive some lessons out of it. Let's find out what those are. This is Profit Hawk. Today, we're going to take a look at an article from CNBC about a business called City Mouse and this woman's incredible story about turning that side hustle from nothing into a $53,000 a month business. I'm going to read some passages from the article, and on the other side, we're going to take a look at some key takeaways from it, some lessons that we can learn from her small business experience. So hopefully we can all learn something by the end. Let's take a look. This from CNBC. College Dropout started side hustle with $8,000. Now it brings in $53,000 a month. I want to build generational wealth for my son. And that article begins, Alexandra Rutke was on a movie set when her side hustle went viral in June. After 2 years of inconsistent sales at her New York-based side hustle, City Mouse, which makes fashion-forward mini diaper bags, 2 glowing reviews of her bags simultaneously gained views on TikTok and Instagram. Within 3 days, City Mouse sold out its inventory of more than 500 bags, bringing in roughly $53,000 in sales, says Rutke, 41. She promptly bought another 1,000 bags from her China-based manufacturer, and the orders kept coming. City Mouse has brought in more than $635,000 in sales so far this year, $53,000 per month on average, primarily from its Shopify website, according to documents reviewed by CNBC. Rutke also works up to 40 hours per week on City Mouse, which remains a side hustle because she still devotes more time to her makeup artist job. She's had side hustles since dropping out of college and moving to New York in 2004 to pursue a makeup career, she says. But turbulence in her life upped her sense of urgency. Between February 2020 and February 2021, Rutke gave birth to her son. Her grandmother died, and she was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer in her right thigh. She's now cancer-free, she says. Still, the thought of her son growing up without a mother motivated her to change her financial goals. No longer satisfied by a decent paycheck, she wanted to build generational wealth she could pass down, and entrepreneurship was her first thought. It was a fear that chilled me to the pit of my stomach, Rutke says. Not to be morbid, but if I had died before my son even got to know me, what would I have left him? The specific idea for City Mouse was born from personal frustration. As Rutke readied herself to leave for dinner with her son and husband in Manhattan one night, she realized that her beloved St. Laurent crossbody bag was too small for her son's snacks, wipes, and emergency pull-up. Her diaper bag, meanwhile, was big and clunky, not ideal for a dinner date. Walking home, she decided to design a smaller, more fashionable diaper bag, specifically designed to fit a toddler's necessities. She found a manufacturer through Alibaba, an online marketplace, and paid $8,000, drawing $3,000 from her checking account and putting $5,000 on a credit card to order samples. It took Rutke more than 6 months to sell her first 500 crossbody bags, made from shiny, regenerated nylon. Sales slowly ticked upward as she added interchangeable straps and hot pink bags ahead of the Barbie movie's premiere last summer. Then came her lucky viral day. Since then, Rutke has tried to maintain City Mouse's momentum on social media, spending $25,000 on Facebook ads so far this year, she says. The brand now has roughly 32,600 followers on TikTok and 16,000 on Instagram, and roughly 90% of her business comes from social media referrals, she estimates. This year's volume of sales pushed the business into profitability, she adds. So the first takeaway is that a lot of times when you're trying to identify a market need for a business, that business need can come from personal experience. So it doesn't have to be something that you see out in society and it's somebody else's problem and you're trying to meet their needs. It can come from within. When you take a look at her story, and she had designer bags that were too small and diaper bags that were too big, and she herself had that frustration in the market where she wanted something that didn't exist. And I think a lot of times that can become a lot more genuine when you're a small business owner, because you're essentially customer number one and you understand people like you need a product that's not there. The next takeaway is that success is not immediate. She can tell you this when she was sitting on 500 bags that she ordered from Alibaba, and it took her 6 months to sell them. You're not going to sell everything overnight. It's not going to happen that way. It's going to build up over time. And she understood that, and she wasn't afraid because she hadn't sold all her products immediately. She also was able to adapt when she added additional straps or a Barbie style bag, because she understood that she was trying to catch on to more trends and add more features to her products over time. Another lesson is to harness the power of social media. She mentioned that 90% of her referrals come from social media. And she had that moment on TikTok and Instagram where her social media presence blew up and resulted in a massive increase in sales. So don't be afraid to use social media platforms to drive brand awareness and really harness the power of word of mouth, brand building, and driving sales. When you're starting to engage on social media, it results in an increase in visibility, and it can drive more customer engagement and sales to your company. Next, don't underestimate the power of a side hustle. Remember, she's got a day job as a makeup artist. She doesn't have an Ivy League education. She doesn't need all that. She's a college dropout. She's got a steady source of income day to day, and she's able to use her side hustle to augment that. She's reducing her risk by keeping her main source of income, and that's totally okay. She's also using her own personal story as motivation. Remember, she had that cancer scare. She was afraid for her son. She wants to build something for her family. Having that motivation, having that why in the back of your head really helps you move forward even through challenging times, because you know why you're fighting for it. Lastly, the focus on profitability. Remember, this volume of sales that she had this year was enough to push her into profitability. That's important because cash is the lifeblood of any company. And if you want to grow and reinvest in your business, you're going to need profits to do that, not just revenue. So you want to make sure you're managing your expenses and generating more than you're spending. I hope you've gotten some value from this woman's incredible story. Please leave a comment down below if this is the kind of content you enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. This is Profit Hawk. Thanks for watching.